Hi there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan. We're looking here at a Nissan March. This one is a K13 from 2011. And it's a 1.2 liter inline 3-cylinder engine, which is a little bit weird. I'm used to 4 cylinders being in these small cars, but this 3-cylinder is very fuel efficient. I looked it up, it's 18 kilometers per liter, which is pretty crazy because my minivan, of course you can't compare a minivan to something like this, but my minivan is 3.8 kilometers per liter. And so, wow, crazy. And our company car there is supposedly 13 kilometers per liter. Just going to switch the engine off here. This is going to be a full walk around report of the vehicle we bought from auction. This one's going over to Aruba, which is our first time sending a car there actually. So kind of fun. Not much to say about the engine other than being a 3-cylinder, it will vibrate more than a 4-cylinder will. It's not bad, it's just the nature of a 3-cylinder. But with 3 cylinders, it's well, less spark plugs to buy when you want to buy spark plugs. Okay, so I'm gonna give this a shot. Watch me. Ta-da! I can do it. Okay, so this one has 60,000 kilometers. It was bought from auction for the purpose of exporting. It is already sold. Sorry, everybody who wants to get a orange March. Looks like a pretty nice car. This would go up against the Vitz or the Fit or the, let's see, what's Mitsubishi's Mirage. Here's the auction inspection sheet. I'll go and quickly translate this for you. It's a 2011 March 12X. Auction rate 4 with an interior seat. Power steering, power windows, airbag. Mileage is 60,560. That's authentic kilometers because it was bought directly from the auction. Original orange color, automatic transmission. It's actually a CVT transmission, and so it's not a real auto, but a CVT typically will have better fuel economy than a traditional auto. Okay, I noticed the wiper rubber is coming off. Okay, so it says seat stained. To me, it doesn't look so bad. Interior dirty and scratched. It is fairly dirty and a fair amount of scratching. Wheels, wheel caps scratched and are aftermarket. I don't think that they are aftermarket. Here's a Vitz. I think these might be the original wheel caps, but I don't know. And tiny little 165 tires will help you get good fuel economy too. Oh no, K-car is coming. Don't get me. Okay, looking at the body here, front bumper has scratches. There's also A3 down the side. I'm just going to give you a quick look at that. This is the worst part of the body. A scratch here, and then there's some mild scratches that go down here. They're not very deep, but they are long. And then the scratches are along the edge of this a bit, and the edge of this up here a bit. Okay, now besides that, there are scratches on it. There are a number of scratches, but almost everything is really shallow. I will mention on the front bumper here, they said A2. This is the other worst of it. If you look around this area here, you can see a number of scratches. And then all throughout here, there are scratches like somebody's brushing their boots against it several times a day. Maybe not that much. Headlights are foggy. And yeah, rear bumper also A2. Okay, so let's do it once around here. You can see it from all the different angles. I was doing a little quick reading on this before I shot the video because I don't know anything about them, other than the fact that you see them everywhere here in Japan. Apparently, these are the first March that were built in the USA. Now, I suspect that they were built in several different countries, and since the USA never got these, it is very strange that they decided to do production in the USA. Typically they'll produce as close to their sales market as possible, unless they're going to be producing in Japan and exporting the higher value cars. But no, these are Nissan's, I guess, Nissan's lowest level car, or most fuel efficient if you want to call it that, and be a little bit nicer to it, besides any of the K cars that you can get into. So this type of car worldwide is very popular because it gives you a lot of interior room, very good fuel economy. A lot of countries have very expensive fuel compared to the USA, and that's probably why something like this is just not popular in the USA or Canada. Now, even when I drive my car, it gets pretty good fuel economy, and I'm pretty happy about this, but this seems much better. And look at that, swoosh marks on the roof. Now, I've seen this car a million times. I've never noticed it has swoosh marks. But the roof is rather high. This is about 140 centimeters. Maybe higher, 150 centimeters. Okay. Now this comes off of the heels of a more sensational looking version of the March. The generation before this had kind of like a really went outside the box with the styling. I think this one is a dial back to more sanity in the styling. I don't hate the looks of it, but super minis are hard to look cool. Most people aren't going to be buying super minis for coolness factor. And the camera overheated again. Sorry about that. Okay, so the trunk is dirtier than you would expect, as you can see there. If you lift this up, no issues down here. Has a tiny little space saver tire, which is funny because the original tires are also really tiny on these. Flip down seat, one piece, if you like flipping your seat down. And one thing about these is that you get great visibility all the way around. Very, very simple to see where you are in reference to other cars, which is important because a lot of cars, that's not something that is easy to do anymore. Back in the days of the Skyline, you had glass everywhere, but then as cars get more modern, you get thicker C-pillars and usually narrower windows, especially in sports cars. So it is really refreshing to drive something with good visibility. Door cards. So this is what I'm talking about with the scratches on the interior. You can kind of see them there. Very simple here. We got 4 power windows, automatic only for the driver. It's a push start. Very easy to get into. Giant door here, especially for the front. Gives you easy entry into it. I find the seats to be firm and not very supportive. You can see it's almost a flat seat. It's a little bit of sagginess in the fabric. Okay. Now I don't have much to compare this against because we don't buy, I've only ever exported one fit, which was a 6-speed manual hybrid fit. And the Yaris, I think we've only exported like 3. One was a factory rally car, which is cool that Toyota makes them. One of them is a turbo. And I felt the seats weren't very good well, the factory rally car came with racing seats, but in the regular Vits, they're not very good either. Okay, push button here. Now most cars you can push button, and then when you push it once you get to see what the mileage is. This is kind of a pet peeve because it won't affect anyone other than me, but I like to check the mileage on these reports before I start the engine. This car you can't. So you press it once more and the engine starts. So 65.99 kilometers there. Okay. This is the Nissan Navi unit. You might be able to change the language on that, but I'm not sure. Since it's original, that's why I think you might be able to. Usually aftermarket ones I would expect you can't. Okay, automatic shifter. This is nice and notchy, feels good, and it's easy to select the gear that you want. Here's what the keys look like. It comes with 2. You don't have to actually put them into anything. AC works nice and strong. Very simple controls here for the AC. There's this. Okay. I guess that's audio is inside this. Volume. That's actually quite loud, those beeps. Okay. Now, there are some scratches in this. Might be a little bit hard to see. There are some. Okay. Floor carpet's pretty dirty. Of course, can be cleaned. I hope the air conditioning of the car cools my camera so it doesn't overheat again. Okay. Now going into the back, kind of a weird design for the hood, or the roof. It goes whoop. There's like a divot in there. I guess that's for aero purposes. That's another thing I didn't notice about the car when I wasn't up and close to it. Okay, pretty standard door cards there. The backs of the seats are dirty. And here's where the seat stain is. Now the interior of my minivan is hideously dirty. And having kids, it can be really difficult to keep the inside of your car clean. Especially when you're very busy with multiple kids and running around and things to do with them. Okay, not super comfortable seats back here. And I will say, this headrest, that's where my back goes. That's a really odd design. Ugh. That's not that easy to push up either. It's stiff. Okay, so that's in the full up position. And let's see how that feels. Okay, now it's right on my neck bone. Yeah, I don't like those. Don't like this. And it looks like there's a center seat. So 3 seat belts in the back, so a 5-seater. You get reasonable headroom, much better than the Mazda 2, which is also called the Demio, which would be Mazda's Super Mini. That's good. I think it's hard to have the right amount of headroom in the back when you want to make the car look sleek. And I suspect having it come up in the back here also helps with your headroom. Okay, quick look at the detailing. It says Pure Drive there, I don't know what that means. Okay. And not much else to say. It needs to be polished up, make the paint brighter again, but otherwise not bad. Okay, there you have it. Of course, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much and have a nice day.